Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast, where we look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Each week, we make a connection with a music maker, listen to their songs, and hear their stories. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenihan.
Thank you once again for downloading the podcast. You know, as of this week, we're taping this in November. What is today's date? The 21st, 22nd. Anyway, as of Friday of this past week, we just exceeded 20,000 downloads on this humble little podcast we started during COVID back in January. So I have you to thank for that, and I do appreciate that. So thank you for checking it out. You know, we've got a great guest today. We're all going to get Efronized today. Before we get to him, though, let me thank my sponsor, and that is DiscoverSooner.com. My good friend Nancy Gettin has put this together. It's a great community for songwriters and publishers to get together. You know, maybe you're looking for people that you can collaborate with. Maybe you've written songs and you want to take them to the next level. Well, they can help you get discovered sooner. So if you'll remember after our podcast today to check out DiscoverSooner.com, I certainly would appreciate that. Well, our guest today, if you go to the webpage and you say, who is Effron White, let me just read this to you. It says, Dylan Waits in Prine, three of my favorites, with a Guy Clark rap. Oh my God, love all those guys. He is a Caryville new folk winner. And what they say is original, real, acoustic Americana music. This guy defines it. Effron White, thank you, Effron, for being on the show.
Thank you, Dave. It's a real honor, especially with a great songwriter such as you.
Oh, well, thank you. My goodness. I knew I liked you right away. I'll pay you later, okay, when we're done.
Okay.
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail. I wanted to play a song from this movie that you've got two songs in this movie called Samland?
Right.
Samland. And this is one from it. It's called Going Local, Being Local. Effron White on the Songwriter Connection podcast.
Just another party on another Friday night. I'm singing a local band, you know they never have been tired. I swear I'm going to Nashville when I get a chance. I'm sick and tired of watching these same old rednecks dance. They drink their beer and whiskey and they try to be cool, talking about me dropping out of the old high school, and they keep on spreading rumors about me and Judy and my Ford. This whole town makes me crazy, like I'm tied up in a psychiatric ward. I'm going local, being local. My address is on the edge of insane. To stay here with all these other local yokels, I'd have to rezone my brain. Monday morning, bussing tables at the Buckskin Diner, dropping dishes, catching flack from all them two-bit whiners. Oh, to go to Austin, I could make it big. Instead of losing my mind in this mundane small town gig. I'm going local, being local. My address is on the edge of insane. To stay here with all these other local yokels, I had to rezone my brain. Same old scene, same old everything. There's only so much a local star can take. Get out my back, give me a break. I'm going local, being local. My address is on the edge of insane. To stay here with all these other local yokels, I'd have to rezone my brain. Yeah. Take me to LA or New York City. Too many psychos in this town.
Oh, yeah. Songwriter Connection is the podcast, the song, Going Local Being Going Loco Being Loco. Local, I'm going to get it all out. Effron White is the artist. You wrote that one too?
I did.
Yeah? And it's in the new movie.
I forgot how rocking that one is.
It's a rocker. I love it. Absolutely. You got a great band behind you too in the studio, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cream of the crop of Texas music there.
Texas. Wow.
John Inman played guitar. He played with Jerry Jeff Walker for about 20 years. There was Glenn Fukunaga on bass. He's played with everybody, Dixie Chicks.
Yes. Know that name. Seen him, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Paul Piercy, he's also played with the Dixie Chicks. He's the drummer.
Wow.
And other
impressive.
And many other Texas bands he's played with. And Hillary Adamson was doing some background vocals there. Mm-hmm. I thought she did a great job.
It's absolutely a great record. And it's in this new movie, Samland. You got exciting news about that recently, didn't you? Just big distribution deal or something?
Do what?
I thought I read that they just signed a big distribution.
Yeah.
And you're going to start to see that movie
they
out
just got
there.
a distribution deal with Gravitas Venturis, something like that.
Yeah. So that movie will be out there.
So it ought to be getting on cable and all that good stuff. So
that's good.
Yeah, it should be getting
We'll have to
out
look
there.
for it. Samland. And it's one of two songs that you've got on that soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
The other's
the other was called Blig. Hadn't had enough coffee yet.
I'll get you more.
Big Blue Tears.
Big Blue Tears.
I wrote that one with a guy named R.C. O'Leary who lives here in Hendersonville.
Okay.
And
Not too far away. Mm-hmm.
So
very good. You know, listening to that, I was going back to what it says about Effron White, Dylan, Waits, and Prine in a Guy Clark rap. I certainly could hear all of that listening to when I listened to you. And and I was doing my homework on you, and I found out that Guy, very aware of you before he passed away, Guy Clark had said that your version of L.A. Freeway was the best version of that song that he had ever heard. Now that must have been.
He did say that, and I have witnesses, but they're not here today.
Oh man! But still, a guy like Guy Clark saying something like that.
Yeah, that was a very nice compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's introduce you to Lauren Blaine, and I'm sorry it's taken so long. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Pretty good, Dave.
Lauren is the manager and more, right? Tell us that story.
Yeah, that's right.
And you sing a little background, and you manage the career. So. Tell us a little bit about you. Lean into that mic. Go ahead.
Well, I'm originally from Oregon. People ask me, where are you from? I say Oregon. They go, oh my God, you're so far away. But I grew up in Oregon, and then I moved to LA for the music business. And because I was writing and singing when I was really young. And so I was down there. And then at one point in time, I had the opportunity to come to Nashville. I don't know if any of y'all remember Johnny Pierce. He had Cedarwood, I think it was, studios. But he and I were talking about me coming out and doing some recording, etc. So I came out in 91 the first time. I lie and tell people I was 12, but but yeah, I've kind of been boomeranging back and forth between LA and Nashville. And in 2016, I just said, that's it. I'm going. Every time I was here, I said, I've got to stay here.
Yeah.
So I finally just packed 2 bags and put my cat in the carrier.
Oh, and a cat lover too.
Yeah.
Love you.
Oh yeah.
I got 2. They're one might pop up on the show any second.
Okay,
now.
great. I love cats. Well, and then so here I am in Nashville, and Effron, of course, would play at the Commodore, the Commodore Grill out there on West End, and I would too. I'm a writer, and so I'd do some things there, and so that's where he and I met originally as writers, and then. He knew that I liked Lily Hyatt. He says, she's playing at the Caverns. Do you want to go? And I'm like, well, yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. We're friends. We'll go.
John Hyatt's daughter, right?
John Hyatt's daughter, right?
Yeah.
And she's good in her own right. And the first time I saw her was the Family Wash. I went, who is that? Had to look her up. Anyway, so we went to this concert, and he heard that I was talking about managing people. I've managed people before. And he goes, why don't you manage me? And I did that kind of Terminator thing where he looks at people and assesses all the stuff. And I'm like, 4 CDs. He's been doing it forever. He's not stopping. He's really good. he doesn't do drugs, and he's not an alcoholic. You know what I mean? He's like, we'll show up for the gig. Oh,
yeah,
I'm
I'm not a real musician.
Yes, you are.
and not judging anybody who does, but it's just working. It's very hard to work with that sometimes. So anyway, I said yes, and then we signed a contract, and then time moved forward, and I saw what it.
She's been the driving force behind the Efronization process.
That's good.
And at that time I was just kind of spinning my wheels, waiting for something to happen instead of taking action. But she's whipped me into shape.
All right.
Got me taking some action.
Maybe you can manage me too, Lauren. That would be wonderful. Your list of accomplishments are just absolutely. I have like 3 pages of awards that you have won. Everything from best of the best Nashville Ear Online to Our Town Your Song. This Kerrville New Folk winner. What an honor that is, right?
That is an honor, real honor.
This list goes on and on and on. So tell us about that one. Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I went to the Kerrville Folk Festival for the first time in 1997.
Wow.
And I watched the new folk competition and everything, and saw what was happening in Americana songwriting, because that's what that's all about. Folk Americana, the Kerrville Folk Festival.
It's bigger than ever right now.
Yeah.
Ever.
18 days, like a little mini Woodstock of folk.
I love
every year. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I thought to myself that year, I'm going to be on that stage someday. And 7 years later,
wow.
You have to enter 2 songs to get in, but so every year I would enter 2 songs and nothing would happen. But finally, 7 years later, I hit it big. I became a finalist, and then I actually was one of the 6 winners. They have 6 winners each year, and they don't call them first, second, or third. It's just 6 winners.
6 winners. And you're one of them.
And I was one. And
what was this song, Effron? Of the 2?
The 2, Nothing to Lose, and Yankee Dime.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. And what's a real honor about it is that Steve Earle is a new folk winner.
Is he really?
Lucinda Williams.
Wow.
Robert Earl Keane.
What company you're in there? That is amazing.
Lyle Lovett was a finalist twice, but he never won.
Wow.
Yeah, but look who makes all the money.
It's kind of like American Idol, isn't it? In that respect. It's not always the winner that makes all the money.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the runner-up.
So, that's probably one of the greatest honors of my life to date.
That is so cool. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
How about another song? And then when we come back, talk a little bit about how it started for you. I know Lauren just a little while ago said that you've been doing this forever. Well, I know that's not true, but I'd like to find out a little bit about how it all started and everything. So,
all right.
What do you want to do next?
Okay, got my harmonica.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to say is that, Effron and I have been on tour singing and stuff for the last 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Went through Arkansas and Colorado and Montana and Idaho and Wyoming, all these different places. And it's really fascinating to go through Arkansas and Fayetteville, because that's where he lived for quite a long time.
Where he's in the Arkansas Hall of Fame, right? Music Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
right.
It's actually the Arkansas Music Awards Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What an honor, though. Wow.
I don't want to claim all of Arkansas yet.
But it's coming.
It's coming. But the fans from back in the early days, they know all these songs, and they show up for the gigs, and they're old friends. I mean, it's really, really, really something to see that bunch of fans. So, hey, all you Fayetteville folks,
This one's for you, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so wrote this one back in Fayetteville in about 2004. And that's the year I won the New Folk Award with this song and Yankee Dime. This one's actually about folk singers and starving artists and just people that do what they do because they love doing it and would do it no matter what. So. I can do anything that I feel like doing. Take a walk outside, even when a storm is brewing. Dare the heavens to rain down on me. Beg the devil for some misery. Lie to myself about how I love these blues. But the truth of the matter is, I got nothing to lose. Old man Cratchit down at the Clarkdale Gym says, son, you ain't worth a plug nickel in a house of sin. Well, tell that old man, go to hell. I'm down the road and I'm kicking tail. Don't give me that crap about kids under 45. I might be brain dead, but I got a rebel's instinct to survive. They say starving artists don't make no bucks, and folk singers just roll around living out of pickup trucks. It's more than money that makes a young heart beat, and there's a lot more to living than a 40-hour week. Swallow my old man's advice. He said, what you call work, boy, it's just a roll of the dice. Well, I've been lucky, I'd have to say. It ain't been easy, but I'm doing okay. It don't take a lot to keep a poor boy satisfied. With a whole lot of nothing, you got little to sacrifice. They say starving artists don't make no bucks, and folk singers just roll around living out of pickup trucks. It's more than money that makes a young heart beat. There's a lot more to living than a 40-hour week. I can do anything that I feel like doing. Take a walk outside, even when a storm is brewing. Dare the heavens to rain down on me. Beg the devil for some misery. Lie to myself about how I love these blues. But the truth of the matter is, I got nothing to lose. The hard truth of the matter is, I got nothing to lose.
Great song. Great message.
Thank you.
Do it for the passion, right? For the passion. Yeah. You know, I'm looking at your guitar case, and you can tell you're well traveled. You've got all those. I like to do this too. All these stickers on the guitar case of places you've been and places you play. If you look at my guitar case, I have a lot of the few, but I also have like the radio station I grew up when I was a kid was WMMS in Cleveland. So you see the MMS buzzard sticker. But one of my favorite stickers says Effron White ? Effon right.
Yeah,
We are all Efronized today on the podcast.
so we're all out of those stickers. We got to get some more.
Yeah,
You can't have mine.
You've been Efronized for a while.
Yes, I have. From the first time I heard you sing it, and I hope you're going to do this sometime on this podcast, The Long Haul. That is just an amazing song. You put such imagery in your songs, and we see you everywhere in town. You've got to be one of the hardest working singer-songwriters around, because I've seen you everywhere.
Like I said, I'm one of the hardest driven ones by this girl right here.
He's got the talent. I guess I put the gas in the car.
Where did it start for you, Effron? Did you learn to play guitar at a young age?
It started when my brother got a guitar for Christmas when I was about 10 years old.
Yeah.
And he hardly ever touched it. Sat there all alone, looking lonely for a while. And one day I picked it up and thought, hey, this is kind of fun. I'd like to play this thing. And since he never played it,
you kind of took it over, huh?
And I took it over. And
He stole it.
my parents got me some lessons that I probably stuck with for about a year, and so that was where I learned some of the basics. At least I learned a few notes on the keyboard and some chords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, I'm pretty much self-taught.
Yeah. When did you first realize that you wanted to write songs? That was a part of what you do?
I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and I just started writing, songs about love or wanting a girl.
Yeah. It's always a girl.
Yeah.
Guitars
and girls.
Guitars and girls. Yeah.
So that's when I started, and then I got a little more serious about it in college when I hooked up with a guy named Elmo Sapwater, and
I love that name, Elmo Sapwater.
and we started playing together and writing together, and mostly he wrote the music, and then I put words to the music.
So a lyricist first, then, you think?
Pardon?
A lyricist first, pretty much, or you always did both?
There was what?
A lyricist.
Are you
Write the
right?
words.
Yeah.
Are you racist? Right?
Well, at first I was a lyricist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Elmo would do all the music. We did have an agreement that he had the last say on the music. We could edit each other, but he had the last say on the music, and I had the last say on the lyrics.
Wow. Yeah. So that sounds like a pretty good team.
Worked pretty good. We wrote some pretty good songs back then. They're kind of outdated now, but
it got you started.
and I couldn't remember any of them to play them either. So.
Mm-hmm. So it's been going since then, since the college days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And then from there, is that where you decided this is the life I want?
I had lots of in between times when I didn't do music. In college, I spent my time trying to get an art degree.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very gifted artist, by the way. I've seen some of your work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Very good.
But yeah, I was really into art, and that's what I wanted to do for a while. I wanted to go to New York and be an artist.
Yeah?
A painter.
A painter.
Yeah. But then I got married and had a family, and so
that can change things.
That took a number of years to get through. And after I got a master's degree in art, and after I did that, took a trip to Chicago, tried to find a gallery to represent me, and I found one and had one show there, and then we had our first child, and so I kind of got sidetracked. Then I stopped doing art, mainly because I didn't have the time or the space, really.
Yeah, art can take up some space, right? Yeah.
So I started picking up my guitar again.
You needed that creative outlet then.
Yeah.
So, I see you as a creative person, so I'm sure that's got to be a big part of your life. You have to create, right?
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I get very grumpy when I'm not creative.
I do too. My wife recently broke her wrist on vacation, and I just keep going back to that and thinking how crazy I would be because I couldn't play my guitar. Mm-hmm. And so I help her do a lot of things, but I just can't imagine that. So it becomes so ingrained in you that you can't live without it. So.
And I got to say, too, it's very interesting. I met his professor from University of Arkansas where he got his degree.
Yeah.
And he's told me something about him. And I can see him integrate this knowledge of fine art and the ideas of balance and mixtures and things like that in his songwriting. It's very interesting to watch.
Isn't that interesting how that found its way into the song?
Yeah.
Is there any one particular lesson that you could take from that? Is there one particular thing that you think about that applied to both your art and your music?
I think the strongest thing is a knowledge of composition, actually.
Yeah.
Composition, balance.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Composition and balance. Yeah. Lessons that was taken there. Well, I'm ready for another song. I got to hit more. We're getting Efronized, and I'm ready for another song. What do you want to do next?
I think I'll do this really recent song that Lauren and I wrote together.
Good. And then we'll talk about that new album. Is this something that's going to be on this new record you're working on?
Yeah.
Good. We'll talk about that next. What's this song called?
This is called In Tennessee. I was sitting out on the deck one day here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and it was one of those hot, humid summer Tennessee days.
We know the kind.
And I just started playing these sweltering chords like this. I thought, sounds like this day.
And he had some of it written when I came out to see, what he's doing, and he goes, "You want to write this with me?" I said, "Sure." And we took him on a little different path than he had planned, but he says he likes it, so I'm good.
Let's hear it.
Sweltering summertime, life in Tennessee. Mid-morning sun, stoking the heat, stirring humidity. I wipe the sweat from your brow, pull back your hair and kiss your smile, hoping you will see in me things ain't as bad as they could be. Come back here, share my front porch swing in Tennessee, Tennessee. Take that plane now, be cooler back in Oregon. Evergreens swaying in the rain. I know you love that song. Will you find someone to touch your heart? Someone to melt you in the dark. If you can't see the stars in the sky above, just think about me and the lightning bugs. Come back here, share my front porch swing in Tennessee, Tennessee. She said, Southern boy, you talk so nice, like a lazy river runs. You take your time to get somewhere, you never jump the gun. But I have ties to the high Cascades. I don't know how I can pull away, but as I watch the sun come up, I just want to drink your sweet tea up. Come back here, share my front porch swing in Tennessee, Tennessee. To the high Cascades, I don't know how I can pull away, but as I watch the sun come up, I just want to drink your sweet tea up. How long can I live without that smile? Oh, Tennessee, Tennessee. Sweltering summertime, life in Tennessee.
Effron White, Lauren Blaine on the Songwriter Connection podcast. All of a sudden, I've got a craving for some sweet iced tea. What goes better on a sweltering day, right?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And that's going to be on this new record you're producing right now. Right? So tell us about that project. Started with Sean Camp, who, by the way, if you don't know that name, Google this guy. I will only tell you this. Lauren Missetti, who's his partner, a fiance, I think. Lauren was on American Idol. And I remember during her audition, Sean came out and played a little guitar for her to sing. And Luke Bryan knew him right away. And they go, Luke, do you know this guy? All he said was, he's badass. It's true. Great songwriter, producer. So it started with Sean, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about that.
Well, I knew Lauren. I met her shortly after I got to Nashville in 2014. And so Lauren, when Sean and her started dating, she introduced me to Sean. And so Sean knew who I was. And one night, that Lauren
Missetti, who, by the way, Lauren Missetti, you should look up too, because Lauren's just an amazing singer, an amazing person here in this town.
Yeah, wonderful person.
Really, really is.
On American Idol.
Oh, American Idol, and just an amazing voice.
And human being, she's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Anyway.
But Lauren and I decided one night to go out to the Station Inn to hear Sean and his band play, and we had a seat right up there at the front of the stage, and Sean was so gracious that night to actually point me out in the crowd before everybody. Says, "There's Effron White here, one of the best writers in Nashville."
Wow.
And
high praise.
So, I was kind of embarrassed about that, but at the same time, my head's kind of swelling. But so anyway, I didn't think too much about it, and for a while, and then we started thinking about doing this album, and I thought, well, I'd like to find a good producer, and I thought, well, or I don't know who thought it up, but we decided Sean would be good if we could get him.
Yeah,
and it was probably Lauren's idea here.
Yeah. I said, "What about Sean?"
And I said,
no,
Sean. No, I'm not going to bother him. And she kept insisting. As I said, she's a slave driver. And
slave to music.
She said, "Send him a message. Send him a text and ask him about it." So finally, I broke down, and I did. And he came back with, "Yeah, I'd love to."
Wow.
So,
yeah. Answer's always no until you ask, right?
He said, "I'd be honored."
That's great.
And so he set up studio time for us and a place. He set us up at Cowboy Arms Hotel and Recording Spa.
And there's a cool story behind these.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Which was formerly Cowboy Jack Clements' studio.
Wow.
Cowboy Jack is legendary.
Legend.
With the old rock.
Rockabilly.
Rockabilly.
Sun Record
Johnny
days.
Cash.
Johnny Cash, I think Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
All those old.
I think even Waylon. Yeah. Fantastic.
Waylon.
Yeah.
But anyway, that doesn't have anything.
But you're recording.
That doesn't have anything to do with me.
Except that we get the benefit of the vibe of the place.
Yeah.
It's
got to have a vibe.
His office is the same as it was. Sean says, and cousin Bob.
Well, the place burned down.
Yeah,
Oh, did it?
The top floor, yeah.
Oh.
And so they rebuilt it, and they tried to, I think, they tried to do it just the way it was.
Well, that's good. Now, where is this at? What part of town is this?
Over in the Belle Meade area.
Belle Meade. Okay. Nice area. Yeah. Very cool.
But his nephew, Bob Clement, now owns it. Mm-hmm. They call him Cousin Bob.
Cousin Bob. Cowboy Jack and Cousin Bob.
And so since we started, Sean, he's a busy man, and he got too many irons in the fire, I guess. And
then COVID comes along, and
COVID didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of were left on our own. And I just decided, maybe it's time to have a little more confidence in myself and just produce this thing myself.
Good.
So with Lauren's help, which I appreciate so much, we decided we would co-produce this thing, and so that's what we're doing. We're carrying on, and it does take some money.
It does.
So we're doing it a little at a time.
Okay.
When we can go in, we go in and do it.
And people have been so generous with the GoFundMe account that we have. It's just that enabled us.
Go ahead
to
and
so
plug
far.
that. You can go ahead and plug that.
Well, all they have to do is go to GoFundMe.com and then search for Effron White, and it'll say something like "Help Efronize the new record."
There you go.
And
that helps.
We appreciate
Yeah.
any help we can get. We love these people that have contributed. Yes.
yeah,
I bet. You've got such a following. It's so many great fans. Let me ask you, I was on your website. You have a website too.
Yeah. It's Efronmusic.com.
You've got a special Christmas thing going on there.
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about that? Yeah.
I guess we could play that
Yeah,
Christmas song.
Oh, we got this is December 22nd when this publishes, so that'd be really cool to do the Christmas
yeah.
song.
And the song, if you go to the website, of course, we want to, build up our fan base and get to know the fans and be able to contact them.
Yeah.
If you sign up for the newsletter, just put in your email. You get a free download of this song that we're going
great.
to play. Yeah.
All right. What's the name of this Christmas song, Effron White?
It's called Say You Want to Be Miss Santa Claus.
Here on the Songwriter Connection podcast, folks. Thanks for joining
Yeah.
us.
All I want for Christmas is just to be by you, kissing under the mistletoe and loving all the things you do. You can be my present, I'll unwrap you secretly. I'll take the peach and wrap you back before Christmas Eve. I can be your St. Nicholas jingling bells, ho, 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 and I'll never know. Well, you're a pretty little package in glitter and frost. Please say you want to be Miss Santa Claus. Say you want to be Miss Santa Claus. When Christmas morning comes, I guess I'll have to act surprised. But it won't be no big feat to show the joy in my eyes. You light up my Christmas like the lights around the tree. And like a kid, I still love candy, and that's why you were all I need. I can be your St. Nicholas jingling bells, ho, 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 I don't ever know. Well, you're a pretty little package in glitter and frost. Please say you want to be Miss Santa Claus. Say you want to be Miss Santa Claus. Every day will be like Christmas when I'm spending time with you. You're a gift that keeps on giving, even when that day is through. There's nothing I like better than loving you every day. So I want to keep you next to me like Santa would in his sleigh. I can be your St. Nicholas jingling bells, ho, 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 and I'll never know. Well, you're a pretty little package in glitter and frost. Please say you want to be Miss Santa Claus. Say you want to be Miss Santa Claus.
All right.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Oh, oh, oh!
Effron White, Lauren Blaine on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Again, thank you for joining us. It's just been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more. And Lauren, you too. I've always been a fan since the first time I saw you, and I want to say it was probably at Millennium Maxwell House back in the day.
Might have been.
One of
I
Lee's
remember
rounds.
meeting you, however, at the Broken Spoke.
At the Spoke, too. That's right, because we both used to play there. And a legendary place that we've talked about before. But there's one song that always comes to mind, and I'm sure you get begged to play this all the time, is the song that you won a Billboard Song Contest with in 2011. It's also featured in Songwriter Magazine's Lyric Spotlight back then too, and it's one called "Long Haul."
Yeah.
And that song to this day sends chills up my back, into my neck. And I'm wondering if we could close out the show with that song. Is it too much to ask?
That's not too much to ask.
No, I would certainly appreciate it, man. This is a great song.
Thank you.
And I've seen grown men try to hide their tears in
Oh,
the
yeah.
audience. It's just amazing the effect it has on people.
I'm one of them. I always talk about my allergies bother me. Effron White, The Long Haul on our Songwriter Connection podcast. Love this song.
Pulls into Waco. It's Saturday night. He finds a little bar, parks his big rig out back. He buys a shot of whiskey and a cold fat tire. It's been a long haul. He engages the bartender in big small talk. How he learned to shift gears before he learned how to walk. He shakes a cigarette from a crumpled Camelback. It dangles from his lip as he strikes his last match. And he takes a long draw as his eyelids fall. And the smoke ring he blows floats toward the back wall. It's been a long haul, long haul. He says his whole life has been like that smoke ring, slowly drifting down and disintegrating. His ex took the baby when he was home on a binge. They're somewhere up north. He ain't seen him since then. Got a letter from that 30-year-old kid the other day. Says she Googled him up. She'd like to meet him someday. Drops an ash in his empty shot glass, like one of many bridges he burned in his past. Should have quit the cancer sticks a long time ago, but it's too late now. They've taken their toll. Might live 6 months if I'm lucky, I guess. Doc says I better wrap up all my business. It's been a long haul, long haul. I've been on the road now since I was 18. Nicotine, caffeine, and dropping by zinc. I'm 64 now, and I can't stand to see where 5 billion miles has finally brought me. Grinds a cigarette butt in the bottom of the glass. Drinks up his beer. Says I better get off my ass. I've got someone to meet that I'd like to get to know. Hey buddy, got a match? I'm heading up that road.
I've got a long haul. Long haul. It's been a long haul. Long haul.
Wow. Chilling.
Thank you.
All I can do is
Thank you,
say,
Dave.
good night. I would never follow that. Yeah. Listen,
Good night, Dave.
Good night. Amazing, amazing song, The Long Haul. Our guest has been Effron White. And y'all, if you haven't been before, you are all now Efronized. Go to his website, effronmusic.com. Lauren, thank you for joining us too.
Well, thank you for having me.
If you're not from Nashville, when you come into town, find a writer's round somewhere. You're probably going to find our guest today, Effron White. For more on Effron White, please visit effronmusic.com. You can follow all his tour information, where he's playing next, and pick up some great Effron merchandise too. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to next week on Songwriter Connection. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Lanahan's Nashville Connections radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.